Alrighty, I've been feeling like I have to just put in a lot more work in my videos. Like, I'm not editing enough, I'm not scripting enough. But as I watch some other YouTubers, I'm realizing that a big part of a good video is just B-roll. Which, it's not like B-roll is something new for me. If you don't know what B-roll is, it's basically the clips that you cut between your primary footage. So for example, in a talking head video like this one, this is A-roll. Me talking to the camera is basically A-roll. And B-roll would be if I cut in some establishing shots. For example, let's imagine I'm somewhere in Bali talking to the camera. I would use a drone shot to film the area where I'm in so that the viewer can see the surroundings, they can feel the emotion of where I am at. Maybe I would film the streets, someone ordering a beer at a local beach bar, something that enhances the story visually but maybe isn't like the primary point of the video. So I realized the importance of B-roll. It's hard to understand how important B-roll is when you're at home in Estonia, for example, like I am right now. There's nothing interesting going on. You're not going on interesting trips. You're not even in nature. I'm just at home all the time. It's all a mess here. In this shot, there's a bit of a mess, but not as much as here. Cat hair flying around. There's a big mess all around here, and there's nothing like really cinematic, visually interesting that I could be shooting. Except if you put your mind to it, you can get quite a few useful shots. So maybe they're not absolutely amazing, but if you just switch the angle a little bit. If I put this camera on a 45 angle, filming me working on the computer, it would require quite a lot of cleanup here, but that's only a good thing. It will be just some additional motivation to clean this area up. By the way, the way I'm dressed, there's like a hole in this thing. So it's an old army shirt. It's not very presentable. So that's one of the things that would keep me from just shooting a video. Because right now I pushed myself away from the table and I thought, that might be an interesting shot. And also the lighting is sort of interesting, golden hour. I think it's 8 o'clock right now. So I could be shooting videos like this all the time, but there's always things keeping me away from it. Things that are like small limiting thoughts, because this isn't perfect. And that is my biggest challenge. Not just shooting a video, not just shooting some B-roll to make my videos more interesting. So I've been looking at some of these YouTubers, and a lot of them are like actual filmmakers. They shoot documentaries. Making films, videos is their day job. And I just looked at the shots that they're getting, and none of their videos are just this one shot where a person is talking. Most are 1 to 3 second shot where they're just picking up a bag. The next shot is them packing the bag. The next shot is them leaving their apartment and arriving at some sort of location. They're going somewhere into nature, or maybe some client location. In either case, they're telling a story with these small little shots which maybe illustrate their point or just create visual story or add visual context. Like I said before, the drone shot, establishing shot of the area where you are tells a story of the fact that you're in this location. When you're becoming a creator, you have to dissect things quite a lot, because as a consumer, you don't have to think about all these things. If you're watching a TV show, you might be thinking, oh, this looks very professional, very cinematic. I like the characters, the story is good, but you're not thinking about all these little details, about the fact how everything is framed, how there's one person in the shot and in the next shot there's a lot of people in the room. This person is alone even though they are surrounded by many people. Maybe other people aren't accepting them, whatever. Small things like that are very important story elements a normal person wouldn't even think about. It registers in their subconscious, but they don't even realize that it's because of this framing of how this person is in the room, for example. As a creator, if you want to make YouTube videos, there's different approaches. You can just make sort of boring talking head videos where you're just conveying information, but if you do want to add a little bit of visual interest, a bit of visual storytelling, it will elevate your videos quite a lot. So if you want to do that, you have to start observing and dissecting a little bit of what other YouTubers are doing and what you could take into your own videos. First, when you're trying to imitate, that's just learning. And now you can actually compare two shots. Okay, so this guy filmed packing a bag like this and it looks good, the lighting is good, or like you might not even know these nuances until you start filming your shot, and then you realize, oh, I'm not able to replicate this shot because I don't know, something is missing. And then you start thinking about it, you start dissecting it. You realize that, okay, so he framed it a little bit higher at an angle, then lighting is very important. He got this golden hour light like this maybe to create these interesting shadows. Then he angled the bag differently towards the light. So basically you start realizing that there are these different nuances which you have to think about if you want to copy that particular shot. And now if you're able to copy it, like you don't have to copy it exactly, you don't even have to do the exact same shot, but just trying to copy it, you will learn so much because you can now compare, okay, oh, so I see this is different, my shot doesn't look as good because, I don't know, the lighting is bad, or bad is, well, depends on what you're trying to say as well. Maybe you don't want to have this moody shot with dark contrasts and so on. Maybe you want to use the same shot in terms of framing and what's happening in the shot, but you want to change the mood, you want to have more vibrant colors and more light and so on. So start by watching other YouTubers and notice it gives you a certain feeling, emotion, makes you feel happy, inspired, hopeful, or maybe slightly depressed, depends on what videos you're watching, obviously. And then see what about that video did that. Was it the framing of the shots? Was it the lighting? Was it the content? So dissect the videos that you like. And once you're doing that, try to imitate it. Try to either replicate their shots or their lighting or whatever aspects that you like in those videos. And it won't be stealing because you probably won't be able to steal it one to one. And secondly, you might combine multiple different sources or multiple different techniques, different people's styles and create your own styles. And the good thing about this sort of exercise is that it actually gives you a reason to make videos. So all these things stimulate our senses, and they can inspire you to make new videos, and they can reignite that passion that you had about making videos, which maybe has been dulled a little bit lately because maybe you haven't gotten the results that you wanted, or you've been tired of making these videos and not seeing results, or maybe there's something lacking, and then you realize, oh, it's the cinematography. Maybe that's what adds a layer of like je ne sais quoi to your videos. Right, so I think that's the end of this rant, and I guess stay tuned to next rants, which will hopefully come soon. Right, we gotta get back to the camera to shut it off. Cat escaped, and it's dark here in the shadow of the sun. Bye bye.